It's been exactly 2 years since this.
Prepare for the worst, hope for the best.
The first diagnosed case of coronavirus in New York was a healthcare worker who'd recently returned from a trip in Iran where the virus had been widely documented. 9 days later, a COVID spreader event in New Rochelle led to a containment area being established in Westchester County. Within the week, a global pandemic was declared, and New York, sadly, saw its first COVID deaths. Public schools, restaurants, and bars were shut down, and on March 22nd,
This is not life as usual.
the whole region shut down in an effort to stop the spread.
We were not allowed to go to work. I had a patient who gave birth. She was COVID positive. Her husband was COVID positive, and the baby was COVID positive. And I mean, we did not know what to do. Luckily, really nothing happened to any of them. They were all totally fine.
A doctor recounts what happened to her. But at that point, the city alone was averaging 50 deaths a day. In the next 3 weeks, it would grow exponentially to nearly 800. At the end of March, the federal government sent the USNS Comfort, and the state opened the Javits Center to relieve hospitals that were over capacity. Deaths reached their peak here in early April, with New York accounting for a quarter of all deaths nationwide. There wasn't a noticeable decline here until May of 2020, and on June 8th, the first phase of reopening began after 3 months of the stay-at-home order. Cases declined over the summer and fall of 2020, only to start rising again in December. But there was a significant development. The first COVID vaccine dose in the country happened here, with nurse Sandra Lindsay receiving it. Beyond that, meeting demand was a challenge at first.
So I was there the first day that the vaccines were released. And, in New York City, everybody who was working there was crying every day.
Then on July 7th, it was the Salute to Heroes ticker tape parade. We warned then that the pandemic wasn't over, and before July was through, the Delta variant sparked a rise in cases. It was followed by the Omicron variant this past fall. More than 17 million doses of vaccine have been administered in New York City alone. Looking forward, the last word comes from the first doctor we ever interviewed about the virus.
We're in much better shape than we were even a year ago, even 6 months ago, because we have numerous vaccines that are still very efficacious against, severe disease and death.
And at more than 76% full vaccination in the tri-state area, we have among the highest rates, and for infection, among the lowest, at least for now. And the prospects, both doctors say, look good for at least the next 6 months at managing this virus.